Interesting story. President Clinton coming out against President Obama last night, criticizing his attacks against Bain Capital and praising Romney's business career. He says in terms of performing the essential functions of the presidency, Romney is, quote, a man who's been governor and had a sterling business career crosses the qualification threshold. But President Clinton still thinks Obama is going to win in November. Time to bring out our panel. Hadley Heath is a senior policy analyst for the Independent Women's Forum in D.C. There she is. David Rare is a professor at George Washington University, also in D.C. And Justin Safey is a GOP strategist in Miami. All right, Justin, let's start with you. Are you surprised by this? It certainly shocked me.
Well, actually, I'm not surprised. I'm actually hats off to President Clinton for speaking out in defense of Mitt Romney and against the president's attacks on Bain Capital. And he's one of many Democrats who've done it. New Jersey Mayor Cory Booker did it, but then put out a YouTube video supposedly clarifying his position. I don't think we're going to see a YouTube video from President Clinton. I think President Clinton should be lauded for having the courage to say this. And it just caps off a terrible week for the Obama campaign with unemployment rates going up, and it was just a bad week for the Obama campaign. Pretty
many bad headlines. If you were the president, you wouldn't want to have. Hadley, what do you say, though, about Clinton's comments here? Because this is almost sort of a piling on now of Democrats, I think, on this topic. How do you view it?
Absolutely. I think this is good advice from President Clinton. We're looking at a situation where 4 years ago, President Obama was campaigning on a message of hope and change. And as much as you might like to joke about it, that was a positive message and really got a lot of young voters excited, got a lot of independents excited. But in America, we're a business-friendly country. We like the idea of private enterprise, and attacking private equity is the wrong way to go.
David, what do you say?
Well, I think President Clinton's comments opens the door for more Democrats to be critical of this strategy. And most importantly, the #1 issue in the economy, among voters is the economy. Every time they attack Bain Capital, they remind voters how bad the economy really is. It's kind of an insane strategy.
All right, let's talk about Nancy Pelosi, another favorite topic on the show. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi banging the drum. She's been supporting this bill for equal pay for women. Now, condemning companies for paying women less than men.
Let's just get out there and bang this drum. Bang, bang this drum. Remove all doubt. We value women and their work. It's 2012. No woman should be paid less than equal pay for equal work. With women still just earning 77 cents for every dollar men make, we know there's a long way to go.
It all sounds so good, doesn't it? And there is a long way to go. That is when it comes to Pelosi's own staff. Her female employees earned 27% less than their male counterparts. Hadley, you must weigh in on this.
Absolutely. You know, the first question any Democrat on the Hill should face as soon as they support the Paycheck Fairness Act is, why are your female staff persons being paid less than their male counterparts? This is a situation where Democrats have two options. They can either own up to the fact that the wage gap is a much more complex issue than they claim, that it's not all about sexism, or they can say that, yeah, it is all about sexism, and that implies that they're acting out of a sexist bias when they pay their workers.
Crazy. Justin.
The hypocrisy is just amazing. It's another instance of Washington Democrats telling the American people, do as we say, but not as we do. And a recent report showed that Senate Democrat staffers, males in those offices, get paid $6,500 more than female staffers. And I don't hear Nancy Pelosi criticizing her Democratic colleagues in the Senate for doing the same thing that she criticizes American businesses for doing.
Come on now. I can't get over this story. I got to tell you. David, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think that this reinforces the fact that the Democrats are perceived as anti-business. No matter what Pelosi does in her own office, when they talk about how corporations are bad, they're not paying people, it reinforces to the American people the idea that the Democrats are hostile to free enterprise, which is going to hurt them in the election with a stagnant economy.
Well, and you keep saying stagnant economy, and boy, howdy, are you right today, because we have 8.2% unemployment and can't seem to create a job to save our life. That's just my rant. The next story is totally different. This is a good one, though. A doomed high-speed rail project still costing New York taxpayers. Former Governor George Pataki, a Republican, envisioned a railway between the city and Albany, shelling out $70 million. But as is common with most government initiatives, it failed. Yet, taxpayers still on the hook for this boondoggle, costing $150,000 a year just to house the spare parts. David?
Good for Governor Cuomo, a Democrat who said enough is enough, we're going to stop it and sell it.
I love it. Justin?
I agree. Good for Governor Cuomo to do it, and I think for voters across the country and taxpayers across the country, high-speed rail, buyer beware.
Amen to that. Hadley?
Well, this all came about because of a government partnership with Amtrak, and I've got to point out that anytime government gets involved, there's winners and losers. The most common loser in any government deal is the taxpayers who are on the hook. This was financed with bonds. For those taxpayers are going to be on the hook for this for quite some time.
Amen, sister. All right, here's a great story. Next time you borrow somebody's stapler at work, consider this. Men's offices are dirtier than women's. We have pictures of 2 desks, members of our own staff. Take a look. Here's Alex. It's a little messy, okay? We've all noted it. Look at Amy's desk. Pristine, gorgeous. All right. According to a new report, the bacteria count in a guy's office is 10 to 20% greater. Hadley, are you surprised, my friend?
Of course I'm not surprised, but not all bacteria is bad. You know, here I am, I'm going to stand up for bacteria. We hear bacteria and we think gross, but that's really not right. A lot of bacteria is harmless. Some of it even helps maintain human health. So, listen, men have bigger bodies. They shed more skin cells. I'm sure they've got a lot more bacteria everywhere.
David, is your office a mess? Be honest.
My office is actually not a mess. No, actually, I am like the last anal retentive business person in America. I don't even have papers on my desk.
Huh.
I like to keep it super clean just so I don't have that bacteria.
Justin, how about you? Come on. You can tell us the truth. Don't lie.
I plead guilty. I plead guilty as charged. I think these researchers secretly came to my office and used me as a subject in their research.
Oh, okay, well, there you have it. Hadley, David, and Justin, thank you so much. You guys did a great job. Really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry.